I just love sumo wrestling. Sumo, komi, komi, komi. 24 hours, 7 days a week. Sumo, komi, komi, komi. Sumo, komi, komi, komi. Sumo, komi, komi, komi. Komi, 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 komi. Akoi, nokota. Mate, mate. Nishi, higashi. Agibono, Takanohana, Konishiki, Hakuhotu, Musashi Maru, Taihotu, Kisano Sato, Chiyono Fuji, Stefan Doyo, Flame the salt up, Revenge, Sumo Wedgie, stomp your feet down, and do your hands too. Revenge, Sumo Wedgie. Coupon Sumo biographies. Ohio gozaimasu. It's Jeff Diamond again. And I'll be talking to you about some great, my top 10 personal rikishi and actually the bios. Well, you heard one about Kisano Sato. I talked about Kisano Sato. He made my top 10 list. Now, 2 years ago, I did a list of top 10 personal rikishi, and the list has kind of changed a bit. Kisano Sato's now up there over Ishinojo. But anyway, I'll talk about some sumos. First off is Wakanohana II, who is 63 years old, who was the last Japanese Yokozuna until Mr. Kisano Sato came in. Wait, that can't be right. I am sorry. Yeah, I know Wakanohana II. Oh, it's Wakanohana Masaru. Sorry about that. There were two Wakanohanas who were Yokozuna. So Wakanohana is 46 years old. He was born in January 1971. He rose through the ranks with his brother Takanohana, and that made sumo's popularity boom in the early 90s. His father was an Osaki, Takanohana the First. So anyway, Wakanohana was a long-serving Osaki who won 5 basho and joined his brother at Yokozuna in 1988. Unfortunately, his injury Yokozuna career was terrible. So anyway, in 1988, he and his brother Takanohana joined his father's training stable, but of course his father couldn't give him special treatment, so basically they had to talk. So Wakanohana was actually called Wakahanada before he got to Oseki and changed to Wakanohana. So anyway, he did alright. He won the basho in March of 1993 at a 14-win record. It was just amazing. After a couple of good fights before July 93, he got promoted to Oseki. He beat his brother Takanohana in November 95 in a playoff. And when he won his third championship in January 97, one of the sumos I don't have on my computer about 1997, he got injured. He missed 2 tournaments and had to stay in Oseki by his majority wins. So anyway, he was actually a tournament runner-up 5 times at Oseki rank. 4 of those in 1986. So anyway, Wakanohana finally got the Yokozuna push in 98, winning 2 consecutive championships like automatic. He had the 3rd longest wait to be a Yokozuna, 29 tournaments at Oseki. So basically, his thing was injury prone. And unfortunately, in January 99, he lost to Chiyo Taikai in a playoff. In September '99, he was told to withdraw because of his torn thigh muscle in September '99, but he didn't. He became the second Yokozuna ever to finish a 15-day tournament with more losses than wins. Ono Kuni, the panda as they call him, was the first one in 1989. But anyway, Wakanohana couldn't handle it. He only was a Yokozuna for 11 tournaments, and he withdrew from 6 of them. So anyway, one of the Yokozuna counselors said that if he wasn't promoted, he would have been remembered as a great Oseki, like his father, rather than a disappointing Yokozuna. So basically, he tried to get in American football but failed. He tried to be an entertainer in Japan, and now he owns a Chungo Nabe chain of restaurants. Meal pot, of course, the sumo wrestlers' staple food. Unfortunately, in the news, his dining establishment was filing bankruptcy because he had a debt of over 147 million yen. So anyway, so he has 5 children. Anyway, his relationship with Takano Hana was bitter because of the death of their father. So he won a Basho in 93 as Komusubi 1, 95 in a playoff as Oseki, 97 as an Oseki, January 97 as Oseki, and 2 and 98 as Oseki. Of course, you got Yokozuna, and of course, he fumbled massively. Next up is Kaiho. Kaiho made his debut in 1988. Well, Kaiho is now 44 years old, born in 1972. He had the second highest rank of Oseki for 11 years from 2000 to 2011. That's amazing. 11 years as an Oseki and still was around. He basically retired when he was almost 40 years old. So anyway, he won 5 Yusho titles, which was amazing for a non-Yokozuna. It is actually the modern record for someone who hasn't been Yokozuna. So anyway, he was a runner-up in 11 tournaments and won 15 special prizes. So anyway, in January 2010, he beat Chiyono Fuji's top record for most of the top division belts won, but Kaiho's records are now threatened by Hakuho. So anyway, he is a stable master now. He did decent. In 97, when, you know, all the sumos I had on my computer, he looked good. He actually was in a playoff in March 97, in a 4-way playoff that Takano Hana won. And in May 97, he had injuries to his left lane because of a match with Takano Nami. He missed almost a year, and he couldn't do anything. But the strange thing is that even though he had problems, he rose up for it, and he won his first Basho in May 2000. So basically, his beer consumption got cut down, and he looked good. And the Japan Sumo Association told him in July 2000 that he needed 11 wins to be in Oseki. And he did. And in the 44 tournaments they took him from Oseki from his top division debut was the second slowest ever. Nevertheless, he had 11 years at Oseki. Kaiho tried as he might. He just couldn't get that gold tissue. But in 2011, well, of course, 2011, he was ready to break Chiyono Fuji's career record of 1,045 wins, but because of that tournament canceled because of the max fixing, and then the technical examination tournament. Yeah, he just couldn't. After Kaiho took care of that Chiyono Fuji record, he had nothing left. And then he quit. So anyway, he won the Basho in May of 2000 as Komusubi. 2001 he won 2 titles. 2003 he won one as an Oseki. In 2004 he won the Basho as an Oseki. Unfortunately, he just couldn't catch on, and injuries just slowed him down. He didn't have that bad of a career. But after 2004, he only had a few double-digit win campaigns. Next is Musashi Maru, known as Fiamalu Penitentiary, who was born in American Samoa. I thought he was Hawaiian. But anyway, he's 45, born in 1971. It was 518 pounds. He had and he was injury-free for most of his careers. So basically, went to Hawaii and all that. His wrestling coach wanted him to do sumo, and he did. Musashi Maru was ranked as an Oseki for 32 tournaments. He just couldn't get the back-to-back championship bashals to get the Yokozuna. He did win his first title in July 94. He was 15-0. He just couldn't do it. Takano Hana popped up ahead of him. So anyway, it's just amazing. Musashi Maru actually won back-to-back bashals in 1999, meaning that he obviously got the Yokozuna status. Because Akebono and Takano Hana had injuries and all that. So anyway, he did pretty well for himself. Musashi Maru had a few titles, but anyway. He won his 12th and final bashal in 2002. So anyway, he just had a lot of problems with sumo and all that. So anyway, his tendon broke in 2002, so he basically couldn't do anything. He actually revealed in 2003 that he injured his neck while playing football in high school and couldn't move his left shoulder properly, which was amazing. And he was the last Hawaiian wrestler in sumo from 1964 to 1986. What a career that would have been. So anyway, yeah, he did pretty well for himself. He won a bashal July 94, then he won a bashal in 1996. He was in a 5-way playoff. One bashal 98, January 98 he won. 4 in 1999, 2 as an Oseki, 2 as a Yokozuna. Of course, clinched. He won in 2000, he won 1 in 2001, 3 in 2002. But after his win in September 2002, he just had injury woes, and that killed him. Well, it killed his career. Next up is my man, Chiyono Fuji, who passed away last July at the age of 61. That was just sad. One of the greatest Yokozuna of modern times, 31 Yusho belts. At that time, he was second to Taiho when he retired. Of course, Hakuo was taking over him. He did pretty well. 10 years as a Yokozuna, that's amazing. Most Yokozuna retire at age around 30. Chiyono Fuji was 36 when he retired. So basically, one of the 6 Hanbashals was Kyushu, and he won it 8 straight years. I think Konishiki was the guy who broke that streak. So anyway, he had the longest post-war run of consecutive wins with 53 back in 1988, and of course there's a lot of videos about it. Of course, yeah, it's in Japanese and all that. And that record stood till 2010 when Hakuo broke it. Chiyono Fuji was only 260 pounds, which was amazing. He had superior technique and muscle, and if you see him in videos, oh my gosh, he's built. Fucking built. He was born in Fukushima. Unfortunately, that city, of course, famous for that meltdown 6 years ago. So anyway, Chiyono Fuji. Looks good. Decent. And then, of course, he won his back-to-back titles in 1981. So in July 1981, he was main Yokozuna. But unfortunately, his first tournament, he got injured. So he came back. But he won in November of 81, beating Asashio in the playoff. And then he won the Kyushu title 8 years. Chiyono Fuji dominated after Kitono Nomi went to a long slump. So basically, Chiyono Fuji was just dominant. He had that 53 match winning streak, third longest sumo history behind Hakuo's 63 and Futabayama's 69. But of course, Futabayama was before World War II, and that was when sumo tournaments were not just 15 days. So anyway, On day 7 of the main 88 tournament, he started to win, and then he won the July and September bashals with Sensho Yusho, perfect record, and then he lost on the last day to his fellow Yokozuna Onokuni in November. He would have been the first wrestler to win 3 straight tournaments at 15-0 if Onokuni didn't beat him. This was amazing. So anyway, unfortunately, Shiona Fuji lost his daughter Ai to SIDS, aka Sudden Infant Death Syndrome. Basically, and then he became the first sumo wrestler ever to receive the People's Honor Award from the Japanese PM back in 1989. He got his 1,000th tournament when in March of 1999, and then he won his 32nd. He was hoping to tie Taiho's 1971 record, but unfortunately he didn't, and he only had 31. So basically, in May 91, he lost on the opening day of the tournament to Takano Hana, aka Taka Hanada. So basically, Shiona Fuji decided to retire just short of his 36th birthday. So anyway, Shiona Fuji was made an elder after his career. He was part of the board of directors of the Japan Sumo Association, where he was responsible for the regional tours of sumo, but unfortunately he had to resign because his wrestler in the state of Chio Hakuho was involved in match fixing. So basically he tried hard. He actually did a Doyo Iri in May of 2015. I cannot believe that. But unfortunately, Shiona Fuji had pancreatic cancer. He had surgery. But he just couldn't do it. And July 31st, it was just hard. The chairman of the Japan Sumo Association, Hokotomi, who met his own doom later on that year, was too grief-stricken to speak in the press. It's just amazing. He was fantastic. You see all the bashals. From 81 to 88, that was in Kyushu, that was the last bashal of the year. That was in November. He lost. Well, 1989 he was close, but I think Konishiki was 14-1. Yeah, Konishiki was 14-1. And then in 1990 he won a Kyushu. So basically that was amazing. Well, he won 3 bashal in 1981. 4 in 82, 2 in 83, 1 in 84, 4 in 85, 5 out of 6 in 86. He missed out when he got injured in March of 86. 3 in 87, the last 4 in 1988 because he got injured. But when he was healthy, it was huge. He won 3 bashal in 1989, which is amazing because one of the bashal, if he hadn't sit out there to injury, he would have won 4. In 1990, he bookended, winning the January and November bashals. And then, of course, he retired quickly. So, that's just amazing. Next up is Taiho. The 40th Yokozuna. He was the youngest ever Yokozuna. Well, of course, he died in January 2013. But he was a Yokozuna in 1961 at the age of 21. 32 titles, which is second all-time next to Hakuho. He was the only wrestler to win 1 championship every year of his Yokozuna, like his top division career, which is amazing. And he won 45 straight matches between 68 and 69. Kaio comes from Shikuka. He did well for Yokozuna. So he actually had the record for a while. The only post-war Yokozuna to have 6 tournament victories consecutively. Until 2005 when Aso Shoru beat his record. And 8 of those titles were Sancho Yosho, meaning 15-0, before Hakuho broke that. So, in fact, Taiho's 45-win winning streak was broken in March of 69, but the judges made an incorrect decision, and then they said that video replays would now be introduced after the incident. So anyway, he married in 1966, which is amazing. His last title was in 1971 in a playoff with Tamanumi. Unfortunately, he retired in May of 71. He had an 80% win ratio. So Taiho had a stable ready to go, but unfortunately he suffered a stroke at age 36, and he could have been the chair of the Sumo Association. Well, he didn't really do that badly. Anyway, Takatariki actually married his youngest daughter. So anyway, he was one of 15 people to get the Person of Cultural Merit Award in November 2009. Yeah. So anyway, Taiho had stroke. After the stroke, he had to be in a wheelchair for a while, and his heart just gave out on him. It was just amazing. Hakuho told everyone that Taiho would have wanted him to break records and all that. And Hakuho liked Taiho. So anyway, Taiho won in 1960, one belt, 3 titles in 61, 4 in 62, 3 in 63, 4 in 64, 3 in 65. He went 5 for 5 in 66. He had to be he was injured in the January 66 battle, and man, that would have been amazing. If he had got that, he would have got 7, and then he won the first battle in 67. We would have won 8 in a row. Anyway, he won 3 in 67, 2 in 68, 2 in 69, 1 in 1971, and 1971. Amazing. Next up is Hakuho, who's currently in, he was born, wow, March 11th, 1985. So Hakuho is just under a month older than I am. Gee, I'm almost as old as Hakuho. So anyway, he's from Mongolia. He made his debut in 2001 at age 16. He broke the record for most wins in a calendar year with 86 out of 90 in 2009, which was amazing. He only lost 4 times in 2009. And then he repeated it again in 2010. And of course, he has the most central Yusho with 12. He was the only active Yokozuna from 2010 to 2012 when Haruo Fuji got moved up. It was just weird how in Mongolia, his father actually won a silver medal in wrestling at the 1968 Mexico City Summer Olympics, which was amazing. So anyway, he's amazing. Well, Hakuho is actually 6'4" and 346 pounds, which was amazing. So basically, he did pretty well for himself. He got promoted to Yokozuna in 2007 because he won back-to-back championships. So anyway, since 2007 he's been Yokozuna. He's almost for 10 years. So anyway, he's done pretty well for himself. A lot of great moments in 2009, 2010. Only losing 8 times combined in those 2 years. That's just fucking amazing. Unfortunately, Hakuho has struggled, and he's lost 4 straight, and he hasn't been the champion in 4 straight Basho, which is a record. So anyway, he's married to a university. He was married to a university student in 2007. They have 3 kids, 2 daughters and a son. So anyway, Hakuho's first title was in 2006 in May. He won 4 in 2007, 4 in 2008, 3 in 2009, 5 for 6 in 2010. He was 12-3 in January 2010 and only lost once after that. And that was in December when he had that big winning streak. He won 4 Bashos, of course, because the tournament was canceled in March of 2011. He could have won number 5. Could have been 5 for 6. 2 in 2012, 4 in 2013, 5 in 2014. He missed out in March of 2014 with a 12-3 mark, 3 in 2015, and only 2 in 2016. But time will tell what is magic will happen. Next up is Takano Hana, the 65th man to be the title holder. So anyway, it's just amazing to see what's going on. And of course, he was part of that big rivalry. Well, he's 44 years old now, but part of the fight, the Wakana Hana and Takano Hana fighting Akebono in a nice sumo interest and attendance rise in the 90s. He was 17 years old when he reached top division, which was amazing. He retired in 2003 at the age of 30. Just amazing. You know that. So anyway, Takahana, as he was once known as, did very well. He set a lot of records. He was the youngest ever Makushita division champion at 16 years 9 months, the youngest ever to the Jurial, 17 years 3 months, and youngest to the top division, 17 years 8 months. That's amazing. In his fourth tournament in the top division, he was actually runner-up, being 12-3. That was amazing. And he became the youngest to beat Yokozuna, which was Fuji. So anyway, he won his first basho at the age of 19 years 5 months in 1992. Unfortunately, the recommendations to be Japanese in Japan, I think it's 21. You can't drink the celebratory sake at the after tournament part, so he had to drink oolong tea instead. So basically, he did well. And of course, they part of the Wakataka boom. They said that interest in sumo was the highest since the Futaba Yama days of 1930s. And Hanbasho kept selling out of tickets. But Takanohana and Wakanohana were sex symbols for some strange reason. So anyway, when he was Oseki, he was given the name Takanohana, and he ended up being Yokozuna. In 1984, Takanohana had a chance in September 94, winning his sixth basho, which would have probably given him Yokozuna, but he didn't win back-to-back, and the Yokozuna Council said that we're not giving you any passes. So Takanohana won the November 94 basho and won, amazingly. So basically, Takanohana and Akebono were great rivals. Unfortunately, Akebono passed the torch. So anyway, actually, Takanohana was supposed to be in the big, the opening ceremony at the Olympics was supposed to be, he do a sumo ceremony for Japan and all that, but Akebono took his place because Takanohana had a liver disorder, which was weird. So anyway, he did okay. Once he was retired, he did pretty well being a judge and being a elder. Unfortunately, he had a bad relationship with his family. But anyway, he only weighs 200 pounds now, even though he was 350 at his peak. Of course, he had there was a bitter rift between the brothers after their father's death with cancer in 2005. And their different attitudes were noted. Takanohana was aloof and reserved, and Wakanohana had a warmer personality. Takanohana said he wanted to be the chief mourner at the funeral because his brother left to be a TV ceremony. But Wakanohana, as the elder brother, was made all that. But a lot of people said because it was for control of the estate. Takanohana condemned his mom for her extramarital affair. But anyway, Takanohana hasn't talked to his mom since. So anyway, no. Takanohana was engaged to actress Rie Miyazawa. Unfortunately, Miyazawa didn't want to end her career and be a stable wife. But Takanohana found love Keiko Kono in 1995, and they have 3 kids. So in 1992, he won as a Maegashira and a Komusubi 2 bashos. 93, he won a basho. 94, 4. 95, he got 4. 96, he got 4. 97, he got 3. 98, he got 2. He missed out on 2 straight years of Yoko's bashos till 2001 when he won 2, and then injuries just took his toll. In 9 of his 10 bashos after he won the May 2001 basho, he had injury issues. In his one healthy basho, he went 12-3, which was amazing. Next is Mr. Konishiki Ga, 53 years old. Salva Alistone. He at his heaviest was 633 pounds, but now I think he's down to about 300. Anyway, he won 3 bashals, and he had prompted a debate whether the foreigner could be in sumos ultimately. So anyway, Akebono was pursued by another Hawaii wrestler, Takamiyama. Anyway, Konishiki wanted to be a lawyer and was actually offered a music scholarship to Syracuse. And his father worked with the U.S. Navy, but he had to support 8 kids. So anyway, he had a lot of potential, and he was the 6th Konishiki in history. He made his debut in the top division in July 1984 and did okay. He was Kobisubi in second Wake in 1985. Unfortunately, in 1985, he had a problem. He had a major injury to his coccyx because the stool collapsed under him. He hit his butt muscle. In May 86, he had a famous injury against Futaha Girl. Of course, Futaha Girl is known as the sumo who had a Yokozuna, had been promoted to Yokozuna way too soon, and then all of a sudden, things just happened. He slapped, of course, Futaha Girl slapped his stable master's wife, and he was kicked out for good. Konishiki did pretty well and got Oseki in 87. So anyway, unfortunately, Konishiki kept gaining weight, and it was a strain on his knees. He had a lot of problems. But in November 89 at Kyushu, he was 14-1 and beat Chiyonofuji by 1 win. The first foreigner since his friend Takamiyama in 1972. He had a chance in 1990 to have a chance, but Sahi Fuji got to be Yokozuna in July. Konishiki had 14 straight wins in 91, but Asahi Fuji beat him on the final day in a playoff. Konishiki was so close to Yokozuna. He had consistency in 91. Chiyonofuji and Onokuni retired, and the other 2 Yokozuna, Asahi Fuji and Hokotomi, had illnesses and all that. Konishiki won 2 titles. In the last 2 titles in the 3 tournaments, November 91 and March 92. He missed in January. He looked good, 38-7, 3 tournaments. He had almost 13 wins a bashal, nothing bad. Unfortunately, the Liberation Committee said, we need to be doubly sure that Konishiki's worthy. We have to wait 1 more tournament. Unfortunately, the New York Times quoted Konishiki saying, if I were Japanese, I would be Yokozuna. Konishiki said he didn't do it, but the damage was done. Konishiki had no chance after that mistake. Konishiki had done well for Oseki, but unfortunately in November 93 he just couldn't hold on to Oseki. Unfortunately, he spent his last 4 years at Maegashira, and he weighed over 600 pounds, which was terrible. So anyway, he had a lot of fighting spirit and all that. November 97 he was in trouble, and he lost a majority of fights. I have that bashal when he fumbled. So basically he retired. Right. So anyway, after sumo, he's done pretty well. He was an elder, but then he decided to be a Japanese entertainer, and he's been in a couple of good shows to talk about Japanese for children and all that. So anyway, he did pretty well for himself. He actually is a good music person. All that. Konishiki won his bashals in 89, 91, and 92, but after that he just retired. He had nothing left. And finally, Akebono. I know this is long, but bear with me. Chad Rowan, born May of 69, he's 47. First foreigner to be Yokozuna. He actually ended up being a Japanese citizen in 96, and left the Sumo Association in 2003 trying to be a K1 fighter and a professional wrestler. He's actually a fighter now. So basically, he wanted to play basketball at Hawaii Pacific University and was trying to be a hotel management clerk. But Sumo interested him. So basically, Akebono did well. He went up through the ranks and all that. He won back-to-back titles in 92 and 93. January 93, he had to be Yokozuna. And there were no Yokozunas for 8 months. But the Yokozuna Council had to give him the Yokozuna title because that was the truth. He won back-to-back titles. But he had a good attitude towards Sumo. 2000, he did pretty well, winning 76 out of 90 battles, but unfortunately his injuries were just too much for him. He just couldn't. He was at Oyakata, but Akebono decided to lose weight and all that. He's down to 514 pounds. So basically, he went to K1, but it was influenced by financial problems because his restaurant failed and he had a lot of issues. His supporters network dissolved after his marriage in 98. So anyway, K1 said that you can clear your debts by fighting with me. Unfortunately, he was 1 of 14 in his K1 career. Kickboxing and mixed martial arts. I forgot who had it. But anyway, Akebono had problems. Akebono even fought Bob Sapp in 2015, but he lost by technical. He was in WWE. He was at WrestleMania 21 in a work fight to beat Big Show. So anyway, you know, Big Show. Akebono was made in All Japan Pro Wrestling. He was Rookie of the Year. And then he went to New Japan Pro Wrestling. And did okay. So, anyway. In Hustle, he was actually given the thing. He was the storyline of Yingling and the Great Muta, which was shocking and all that. He was born from a giant egg. Monster Bono had a lot of problems. He left the Monster Army to be Bono-chan, to do a sumo style face thing. So anyway, it was funny, Akebono. They went to Dragon Gate Pro Wrestling Serial and All Japan Pro Wrestling. He's in Udo. New company. So anyway, his father was a taxi driver, Irish and Hawaiian descent, and his mother is an office worker, Cuban and native Hawaiian descent. So he became a Japanese citizen in 96, and is now, of course, Akebono Taro. He got married to a teacher, Christina Kalila, and they have 3 kids. So yeah, he's done pretty well for himself. 2 battles in 92, 4 in 93, 1 in 94, 1 in 95, 1 in 97, and 2 in 2000. Kickboxing, the only win was against Nobuki Kakoda in March of 2005. Other than that, he's just sucked. He's won a few titles in wrestling. 2 Triple Crown heavyweight titles in All Japan Pro Wrestling, which is huge. So anyway, that's all I've got for this video. There'll be one more video coming up. It's a list of all the Yokozunas.